So now to the moment of truth. You're about to shoot your load. What can you do in the last second in order for you to increase the load and to shoot as far as possible? So number one is, how's it going, boys? So in the following video, I want to share with you my best tips and tricks in order for you to ejaculate as bigger loads as possible and as further away as possible. So if you follow the tips and tricks in this video, you're going to be able to shoot super hard. So if you're trying to take a girl's eye out by coming on her face, this is probably the video for you. Now, if you're into that, I'd really appreciate if you guys first like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon if you're new here to this channel. Now, I'm going to start with the obvious tricks and build up to the most advanced tricks. So if you're into that, do me a favor, watch the video till the end because you're gonna learn a lot from it. Now, for the obvious trick number one, if you want to ejaculate a lot, if you want to ejaculate massive loads, you should probably retain from ejaculating for a specific amount of time. How much time? Usually it takes the normal healthy male body between 3 to 4 days to fill up with sperm. So if you want to have full testicles filled with sperm, you should wait between 3 to 4 days. That's the norm. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, you can wait 6 to 7 days. And what that does is not only you're filled with sperm, but also at the day 6 and 7, your testosterone levels are actually at the peak. So if you look at the chart of the testosterone level for a healthy male body, you'd realize that around day 7 or 8, you'd have 50% more testosterone. Now, what that does is that actually gives you harder erections, that makes you much more aroused, and you probably know that when you're more aroused, you will come more and you will come harder. Now, number two is you should eat things that will enhance your sex drive. For example, you can eat oysters, Brazilian nuts, eggs, and bananas. What you can also do is take supplements that are known to enhance your sex drive and your testosterone levels. For example, zinc and vitamin D. Now, obviously, you can consume zinc from food, but vitamin D is going to be very difficult to consume it from food. So it's very important to be supplementing on it. Now, number three is it's very important for you to actually have harder erections, because you should think of your dick as a tube, as a water hose. Now, if you have harder erection, the sperm will have more place for it to shoot out and to shoot further away. And if you have weaker erection, it's like shooting from a tube that is basically deflated. So there's not enough space for that sperm to go out through that tube. So make sure you're as hard as possible. Now, how to get as hard as possible, I already made a separate video that explains all of that. I'm gonna try and link it on this video as well so you can take a look at it. But in short, few things that you can use is first, do some stretching for your penis. Second, be well rested, because if you're tired, you're not going to have harder erections. And third, if you actually need some external support, you might use some herbal pills or some natural pills that will increase your erection. Now, everything I personally use and I recommend, I'm gonna leave it down in the comment section below. Number four is train your Kegel muscle. Now, the Kegel muscle, or this muscle family, is basically a muscle that is found between your balls and your asshole. Now, this is the same muscle that is responsible for holding your pee if you try to hold it, or basically holding the orgasm if you try to hold it. Now, the stronger this muscle is, the harder the contractions are. And when you have harder contractions, you can actually shoot way further. So, in order for you to train this muscle, all you have to do is, while you're sitting right now watching this video, try and do the movement of holding your pee. You probably know and you can control that muscle. Try holding it as long as you can possibly hold it. You're gonna realize is that you can't hold it more than 5 to 10 seconds. Then release and then try to hold it again and see how much more you can hold it. So this way you can actually train your Kegel muscle, and this way you can shoot as far as possible. Now, for the tip number 5, and it's one of the most important ones, and I think one of the most effective ones, and that is edging. So what is edging basically? Edging is when you almost reach the level when you're about to orgasm, when you're about to come, but then you back off from it. You relax yourself a little bit and you go back to having normal sex. And then you reach again that edge where you're almost coming, but you hold yourself, you don't come, and then go back, continue having sex. Now, if you do that 2 or 3 times during sex, you're going to be surprised of how much bigger loads you're gonna be shooting. It's just incredible. My favorite way to do it is when you feel that you're going to blast your load, pull out. Once you pull out, go down on the girl, try to lick her pussy, make her orgasm. So take for yourself a minute of break and then continue having sex. And again, when you reach that point, that edging point where you're about to blast, pull out, go down on her again, or you can do some foreplay and then continue having sex. And you can do it as much as you can, but from my experience, the more you do it, the bigger the loads you're going to shoot. So now to the moment of truth. You're about to shoot your load. What can you do in the last second in order for you to increase the load and to shoot as far as possible? Well, there are two things that you should be doing if you want to shoot as far as possible and shoot bigger loads. So number one is when you're having sex with a girl, ask her to actually grab and squeeze your balls when you're about to come. So think of your balls as a bag of milk. And when you're about to come, you basically cut this bag open. So you open that bag. Now what happens if you applied pressure on that bag of milk before you open it? What happens is you're going to shoot really far, especially the first couple of shots. Not just that, but it's also going to help and force more sperm out of your balls and empty them properly. Now, number two, what you can do is when you feel like you are about to come, I want you to contract that muscle. Contract that kegel muscle that you trained before as long as possible. And only when you can't contract it anymore, let go. And then you're going to see how far you're going to shoot. You're going to be amazed. So there you have it. Those are my best tricks in order for you to shoot as bigger load as possible and as hard as possible. If you guys learned something useful from this video and if you liked it, I'd really appreciate if you smash the like button. And again, if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. And anyways, I'd really like to hear from you guys. So which tips you think are the most useful and which tricks do you actually use in order for you to shoot bigger loads? And anyways, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye-bye.